kingdom citizen.
Blessings, blessings, and blessings. And we just thank each and every one of you that are going to be with us tonight. We thank God for Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Audible from Amazon. For those of you that's watching and those of you that will be listening to this broadcast, we want to say welcome to each and every one of you. And we thank God for you here on this beautiful Monday to be with Kingdom Citizens of Wisconsin. We're going to get some announcements out of the way, and then we have a lovely, lovely young lady that is going to be with us. I told her backstage that I had to go through fire and brimstone to get her, but I got her. So I'm looking forward to talking with her. She's the candidate for the 5th Automatic District here in the city of Milwaukee, and I would love to hear her vision. So let's get the announcements out of the way. Why it's important to stay in the middle from a kingdom perspective? This book is now, as I speak, in 18 states here in America. It is being translated in Spanish, and then also being translated to an Audible book. I am excited about this book and where it's going and the things that it's going to do. And if you want a copy of this book, Why It's Important to Stay in the Middle from a Kingdom Perspective, you can give us a call at 414-676-0842. That's 414-676-0842. And we're still looking for volunteers for Kingdom Ecclesia Academy. We will be working all 81 Brewers games. If you would like to help the future of our children by donating time, that's what we need, your time, as we serve at the stadium watching the Brewers game. You can give us a call at 414-676-0842. That's 414-676-0842 or 414-899-2688. That's 414-899-2688. And we're excited about all of these things that are going on. And if you're having problems co-parenting and you need some help where we can minister to you and your significant other, then give us a call at 414-585-9511. Kingdom Ecclesia is willing to help you get it together for the sake of the children. Co-parenting is very, very important. So give us a call at 414-585-9511 if you are willing to sit down with your baby mama or baby daddy, because the child needs both parents. So look us up, give us a call, as we do like we always do, and we start to tag people in. We asking you guys to go ahead and start tagging your family, your friends, your loved ones in, as they can come in and watch the show, talk with us, ask questions. We're excited about what's going on. We're excited. And my guest, you guys, let me bring my guest on, you guys. I've been waiting on her. I tried to get her before the primary. Thank God that she made it through the primary. And, you know, I want to hear her vision. I'm excited to see what she has to say. So with no further ado, let me bring in my friend, my candidate, Annette Jackson, candidate for the 5th Automatic District. How are you, ma'am?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I am awesome. I really am awesome. I'm excited to have you on the first half of the show. And you come very, very highly recommended. I call her my little sis. She told me all about you. And if my little sis is backing you, you gotta be good. You have to be good. If my little sis is backing you and telling me all of these good things about you, because she know me. I am not for fun, games, and playing. I'm here to help the people of the city of Milwaukee have a better life. So why don't you tell the people about you? Why don't you, before we even ask questions or anything, you got the floor. And I know some places they only give you 2 minutes, 3 minutes, a second. You don't have that. You have as much time as you need to tell us all that you want us to know about Miss Jackson.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Um, I currently work for the city of Milwaukee. I've worked in three of the major departments. I worked in the Department of Neighborhood Services, the Water Department, and right now I'm in licensing. Um, I feel that my knowledge and all of my experience from working in those different departments made me ready for the position that I want to take now. I see greatness in this city, and I really want to be a part of it. I believe that I would be the best alder person because I'm not a political person. I owe nobody anything. I have no political ties to anything but the people. And I want to see the city advance. I want to see the city be safe. I want to see us have the resources that we need to succeed. And those are one of the things that motivated me to run. Working in the different city departments, thinking, being on both ends, because I also work with the Common Council. But so I got a chance to see the complaints of the people. And I would think sometimes, well, hey, if we just did this or did that, it would elevate to this level. But I sometimes think that people look at the big picture, that they forget about the little things that will get you there without any problems. And I think that I would be the person to fill those holes because I work with the customers and I work with the Common Council. I can hit City Hall day one running. I know City Hall. I know who to go to get information, to get things done, to get resources. I don't need to be introduced to anybody. I know the procedures and the policy. But most of all, I know what the people have told me that they wanted. When I worked in the water department, I won 15 customer service awards because I was able to really listen to these irate customers and be able to empathize with them and understand what they were complaining about. But however, I was able to tell them our policy and procedure to get them to understand. Because sometimes I think if you don't take the time to explain why something is taking place, the people don't understand. And I am a very people person. I love people. I love helping. I've always helped. And I'm really looking forward. I want to be in the district. I want to be involved. I don't want to sit in City Hall and have people call me. One of my goals is to go into the community, and I want to be in different businesses each week, or honestly, probably each month, be at a different business where the customers could come and see me. If you have, you don't shouldn't have to go all the way to City Hall to feel like you're not being acknowledged. I want to be there for the community. I want you to be able to come to me, see me, and voice your concern and let you know that I understand how you feel and I'll tell you exactly what I can do. Some things are beyond the automatic control. It's dealt with the Common Council. You can't make all the decisions yourself. So you have to go to the council and they have to agree. I have great relationships with all the council members. So I really feel that I'll be an asset to the city. And I think that that gives me advantage over my candidate, over my opponent. I'm sorry. But I love this city. I have 12 grandchildren growing up in this city. So being safe is important to me.
All righty then. I glad to hear all your experience and everything. And you know, when we talk about this city, and like you say, you love this city, so do I. Born and raised here, children, grandchildren in this city. And the thing that with me, and everybody know, I don't sugarcoat it. I tell people all the time, Every alderman has failed the people. You look at the condition that they are in, they failed. It wasn't about the people. And I love how you say you're going to be in the community. I love how you um, say you know your way around. You know how to get in and out. Because you know who to go to and everything like that. So I want to ask you a question that because you mentioned the water. You worked in the water, right?
Water department, yes.
Okay. Because I want to ask a question about water, and this doesn't have. I want to have a conversation with you. So
Okay.
take off your candidate hat. Be Annette. I'm gonna be
Okay.
David. Everybody know that I'm running for mayor, and in 2024. But everybody already know I am going to be the next mayor in 2024. So we're not talking now. We just us. And it was a big uproar about the lead that was in the water, right? And then they just got quiet. So are they still poisoning our children?
Actually, I can honestly tell you because I was afraid to drink our water myself, thinking
Okay.
that there's lead in our water. But Wisconsin and our water department, we have the safest water that you can possibly drink. One of the things, if you're concerned about lead, is to when you get up in the morning, let your water run for like 3 minutes because it flushes out all the lead that's set in the pipes overnight and it makes your water very clear. Sometimes we get that fogginess in our water and we think that, oh, that's not good, but it actually is good. So my concern with anyone who's concerned about lead, let your water run. We seem to think like my parents think, oh, if you let the water run, your water bill is going to be really high. You know, it takes 740 gallons for it's only $2. So running your water is not what makes your water bill high. If you have a leaky toilet where it's running constantly and it can never shut off, that'll raise your water bill. But run your water. Let those pipes flush. They need to flush out. But we have great drinking water. We get these bottled waters, and I still drink bottled water because it's a habit. But we don't know what's in the bottled water. It says if you really look at those labels, sometime they say bottled at the source. Well, where's the source?
Mm.
You know, a lot of water that we pay for is just filter water that somebody got out of their faucet and they twisted it, put it in a bottle, and they're selling it. There's no guarantee. There's no FDA regulations that said this is good water for you or anything like that. But I can tell you that we treat our water. But I went to a water plant and we treat our water very good. I don't think that the residents of Wisconsin have to be that concerned with the condition of the water because the water, we filter that water. It's really, and I would suggest that anybody could take a tour of the water plant. We really do a good job at filtering that water. But again, if you're really concerned about it, let that water run. Flush the toilet in the morning and let your water run for 3 minutes. You don't have to worry about lead.
Mm. Okay. I'm still gonna drink my bottled water though. I'm still gonna drink my bottled water,
Hey,
but
all somebody else did was get it out their faucet and put it
I,
in a bottle.
I know. But we have a place where we go and it's well water. So,
Mhm. Yeah,
you know,
well water is definitely the best.
yes. So I'm still gonna drink that. One of my biggest thing, and then anybody that's watching, if you got a question, you know what to do. You throw the question up on the screen, and when we see it, it'll say like this. I'm gonna put a compliment on you, so I'm gonna put that up there.
What? I am sincere, Tina. I am very sincere. Uh, I've been hurt by politics. People make promises that they can't keep. I don't want to make a promise that I can't keep. I think iron sharpens iron. So if we work together in a community, it's not about me, it's about the community.
Amen. And you know that is one of the things that uh, I'm really trying to get people to see. And I say this all the time. Neither party is going to save the people. The people has to save the people. You know, we gotta stop looking at which side gonna save us because both sides been in charge and we still in the worst condition that we are in.
Right.
So we as the people have to make up our mind and roll up our sleeves
Yes.
and get it done. And so let's talk about the service that the uh, city's supposed to provide. Okay, and for me, I've seen it. I lived through it. You got some part of Milwaukee, and they get that. I call it that Burger King, McDonald's service. But then you got some part of the city that get the Chick-fil-A service. So for the fifth district, are you going to upgrade that everybody get the Chick-fil-A service?
Absolutely. I'm going to be in that district and I'm definitely going to do that. I think that DPW, the phone calls, the more you call, the more things happen. Uh, I'm finding out that sometimes people are part of the problem. And you
Okay,
got to
break it
decide,
down.
you're going to be a part of the solution.
Okay.
You cannot just complain to your brother or to your friend. You have to complain to the people who can do something about it and offer a solution. And we just got to pull together. I'm all with block parties and block watch because I think we lost that. We need to get to block parties where we can come and say, hey, what can we do for this area? What is it that you want to see happen in your neighborhood? And let's focus on that one block at a time. But we've got to stick together. We got to stick together. We got to speak out. We got to not be afraid of what somebody's going to think. If right is right and wrong is wrong, and everybody should be held accountable. That's one of the things that I feel like in my spirit. I hate when people say that if you're a citizen, you're guilty by association, or if you're a citizen, you have to see something, say something. But then the people who are in authority don't do that. We should set the example.
Ooh. See, I was trying to play nice tonight, but you're not gonna let me play nice. So we can just do it, you know. I mean, and you're absolutely right. It's two things I have a problem with, and I'll tell you. James Madison said it this way. He said, knowledge will always govern ignorance. Okay? And most aldermen know that the people in a district don't know that they are the boss.
Mhm.
So they get away with crap because they know. Now, on the south side, those aldermen know that the people are their boss.
Yes,
So
yes,
when they call, they answer. If they
yes,
call a meeting, they show up.
yes,
They don't wait till the aldermen do it, but
right.
they show up because they understand that the ones who making those phone calls are their boss.
Yes.
And on the north side, they don't. They won't
Mhm.
answer the phone call. They won't call you back. They barely come see what you gotta say. They always get allowing you to have the poor service, the worst garbage pickup, everything. And the people think that the Ottomans are the boss, or the Ottomans have the power. And the people have that power. And if the people realize that, they would have fired every last one of them. And I just have to say it like that. Every single one of them. Why? Because when you look at the condition of our community and the one who's representing us in those communities, and I just have to say it, attitude reflect leadership.
Absolutely.
And so what makes you stand out against your opponent?
Um, I am truly a people person. I care about what people feel. I care about how people live. I care about other people's family. I was a foster mom. I help troubled youth. I'm a stage play writer, and I write inspirational stage plays because I wanted to heal people through entertainment. And I found that people love to go to entertainment. I wanted to offer them a way out. I wanted to, what you say, level up.
Mm.
So anytime that I do something, I want to level up who's ever watching. Um, I believe in total integrity, and the people are our boss. Those people who elect you to that position, you owe them.
Yes.
And I'm willing to step up. I'm willing to say, I'm the first to say, I'm not a political person. But there's nothing that I can't learn because I have that faith in myself. And I know that if I am uh, looking at something, the whole picture, that's
Mm-hmm.
one thing. I don't think everybody looks at the whole picture. We throw out answers because they sound good.
Yes.
No, you got to look at the whole picture to give an educated answer that you can stick to.
Right. And political people, politicians can't run this city.
Mm-mm,
This city needs to be run by people who know business.
mm-hmm.
And when you understand business, then you understand how to run the city. What we have done is allow people in office. And here's the funny part, and I made this statement the other night. We elect people in office, and then they put their hand on the Bible and swear to protect and defend the Constitution. But they ain't read it because they make laws that goes against our constitutional rights.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we do ourselves a lot of injustice because we allow people in office and they're making decisions based off of who gave them the most money than based off of what really need for the city. And the city need answers. They need answers. And most of the people that goes to those community meetings, and I have to say it like this, they only there because of their paycheck. If
Yeah.
their paycheck wasn't there, they wouldn't even be there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I got to ask you a question on this one because I know you're going around your district, and there's a gentleman, and he's not on yet, but he's going to ask you a question too because he kind of upset with you.
Who would be upset with me?
Well, I'm going to tell you why he says that, okay? He's going to come on and he's going to say something. The reason he upset, he lives in your district. He haven't got your literature, and nobody knocked on his door. No candidate at all during the primary knocked on their door. So that's why he said he's upset with you.
I understand. That's a large territory, though. I covered a lot of territory. I'm telling you, I knocked over like 900 doors, and I'm going to continue to knock on the doors. So if I haven't gotten to them yet, I will.
Well, I tell you this: when we backstage, I will give you the information uh, to this person because I really believe that he can help you
Okay.
in that area because you can't get the whole. I know you can't get it all. It is very large, but it's to the point now where we have to say, you know what? Let's find people that we can support and let's get behind them and let's help them get past the finish line. You
Yes.
know, and like I say, let's see. Half the time. Oh, it's going to be a lot of times some people don't answer, you know. But to leave a card just to say I was there means a lot to a lot of them. And matter of fact, you'll get their vote just because you're the only one stopped.
Mm.
So you have to understand that part about campaigning. If you stop, they'll look on your website, they'll look at anything you leave, and then they'll vote for you just because you're the only one that came.
Okay.
Okay, and so okay,
And
who?
tell me about that. That's the kind of stuff that I want to hear. I want to hear all the voices in the community. And if you're willing to step up and help, like I said, we're stronger together.
Yes, and Miss Love, you're going to have to give me a chance to you typing so fast. You're going to give me a chance. No, I'm just messing with you. I know who you is too, or who you are. Should I be all? No, I'm gonna be me. But anyway, um, Yes, we have to get you to those doors. And only reason, the reason that let me be honest on some things, okay? It's time for the offering of honesty. All right.
Mhm.
I looked you up. I like what I saw, but I needed a co-signer. Okay. And my sister co-signed it. And when she co-signed it, I knew I was right. I knew I was right. And when she co-signed it for you, I knew I was right. That's why you were somewhere and I said, call me. And you didn't. But I still love you.
I was going to. I'm gonna
But
tell you, I have been overwhelmed
I
with
know.
surveys and different things and getting out in the community that but I'm learning, and I've learned, and I'll tell, and I want the people to learn with me. Like I said, I need their support. I need to be out there. I'm going to be with you. I'm going to walk with you if there's an issue. I want to be there to help you through the issue. If I can't help you, I'm going to tell you that's beyond what I can do, but let's do this. I can help with this. I'm really, I am for it. I want to do this. I want to bring this city up. I want us to level up. I want us to stick together. We
Right.
can do so much if we stick together.
Wait a minute. Because now my sister fussing at me. Look at it. Be patient. Okay, I'm patient. But it's the thing about it. Because for me, I get hyped when I know people has a heart for the city, and I want to connect so we can do so much together. Like you say, trying to do one person is not going to solve it. It's take all of us
Yes.
to come together and solve it. And so, for me, I look at it and I'm like, okay, we got to get her past the finish line. And how do we do it? By getting your message out, getting people to know. You gotta hit those doors. And you did 900 doors. That's awesome. Now we got to get you to hit more doors. There's a gentleman in the area, two of them that I want to introduce you to about that. So let me ask you this, because what church you go to?
World Outreach with Pastor Melvin and Skip Henderson.
Okay, I knew you was a believer. I just had to bring it out because you,
Yes.
yes, and does I tell people this: if you want the problem solved, you got to put men and women and God in office, because we get the download from heaven to how to solve it. They done did surveys, they done did datas, they done did research, and they still don't have the answer, okay, to the issues. But if we allow God to download to us how to fix the issue, they will fix it. It will
Yes.
be done.
Yes.
Um, and the reason I know, because there's many times um, in the city where they was hollering there was no jobs, and God used my organization, God Squad, and we transported 450 people a day to work. So when they was hollering there was no jobs, we was giving people jobs. The day they came out of jail, we got them a job. It-
Wow.
and so I know what can do when the people of God is in control. And so one of the biggest problems in Milwaukee is we have a spiritual issue, because all of our leaders are spiritually dead. They're none of them standing up for God, for the
Yeah.
righteousness of God, or even the word of God.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I prayed one day and God told me to get my family back.
Mm,
And I said, get your family back. And it first started when I wrote this pray call, When the Father Prays, because I wanted men to know the importance of praying for their family. Even if, people think prayer has to be something long, prayer just has to be sincere. I don't
that's
care if
it.
it's 5 words. It just has to be sincere. It doesn't have to be long. And I wanted people to know that. And I wanted the men to know, you got to pray for our city. You got to pray for our kids. You got to pray for your wife. You got to pray for whoever that you love, because you're the head and your words are powerful.
See, I'm trying to be nice, but you're gonna make me go there anyway. You know, it is as people of God, and I know a lot of people say, well, you don't supposed to mix God and politics. then you didn't read the Constitution.
Mm.
Because in the Constitution, so many scriptures. So you can't tell me that. Well, it says separation of church and state. That ain't what it says either. It just says the state can't govern the church to make this a one religion nation. That's all it says. But as people of God and standing up for what's right and being bold enough to speak truth and to not only speak truth, but to allow people to hear your heart because they don't heard the lies.
Yes.
So now it's time to let them hear your heart and say, hey, listen, we can do this. You know, one of my sayings for my campaign for mayor is one mind, one purpose, one goal to make Milwaukee safe and prosperous home for us all.
Yes.
So it's about us. It's not about individual. It's about us. And when we get that and realize, oh, I got to get you a copy of the book. You need to read the book.
Yes.
The book is phenomenal. Why it's important to stay in the middle from a kingdom perspective. And see, so when we look at your walk as a woman of God, okay, and I gotta ask this question because of who you are, okay? The Bible says that if you're ashamed of me before man, then I'll be ashamed of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I left something out. And what I left out was this. It says, if you're ashamed of me and my word. So as a woman of God, going into the alderman's seat, will you be ashamed of his word? I know you're not ashamed that to say you belong to him, but would you be ashamed of his word?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They're going to hear that all the time. If they get tired of it, oh well. Because you know what? I don't get up. My feet doesn't touch the floor in the morning without me saying Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I'm grateful every day that I have. Every day that I wake up and I breathe. I mean, what if God took a nap on us? I mean, people have to realize that. If he went to sleep and didn't wake us up, well, what's going on with that? I'm never ashamed of God. God has done so much for me. And I tell you, anytime you're going through something and you don't think you can do it.
Yes.
I didn't even think I could be in this predicament. I'm a city worker. I work in the licensing division. I license all the bars, all the food trucks, all the restaurants, massage, anything that has to do with a city license. I license them. I worked in a water department, in customer service. But I realized that, see, God always prepares me for something that he wants me to do. Yes. And one day I realized that he prepared me for this.
Yes.
He prepared me because he said, I don't want you to be like somebody else. I want you to have inside knowledge. So when you speak, you can speak with truth.
Good. I'm glad you said that. First of all, this Patty is up so far up north, they call it God's country. And they read the book all the way up in God's country. So I want to ask you this. Yes, he prepared her for a time just as this. So here's the question in the licensing, okay? I am a business coach and consultant, okay? 2 clients had to go outside of Milwaukee to get their places open. 2 of them, all right? One had to go to Sherwood, and they was open within 2 weeks. The other one went in West Dallas, and they was open in 2 weeks. And the reason it is because they was being held hostage by other persons, and it was taking almost a year, if not more, to get it open. We have what's called in Bayshore Mall. Have you ever been to the Collective?
Yes.
It's a beautiful place, right?
Mm-hmm.
But ain't that a shame that it had to go to Bayshore?
Absolutely.
This is the stuff that when we're talking about businesses, why do we have to move our businesses outside of the city we live in?
I totally agree. That is a policy that was put in place before my time, but I totally agree. When I license home improvement contractors, I tell you, those contractors that are licensed with the state, and they're can do work in all the other municipalities. But when they come to Milwaukee to do something to make our city look better, they have to go through so much and they are so frustrated. A lot of them say, I don't even want to work in this city. And you guys need us, but I don't want to work because you're putting me through stuff that I didn't have to go through with anybody else. And I'm state licensed. So
Right.
if the state licensed me, what's wrong with the city licensing me?
And
So
once you and I get in office, that is something we're going to revisit very fast to make Milwaukee business friendly so business owners can stay here. It is a shame. I have a friend of mine who has a company outside of Milwaukee, and he called me one day. He said, "Come up here. I need you to see it." So I drove an hour up where he at, and he's building a big driveway, right? To allow trucks to come in and out so his business can grow. And he was showing me the driveway, and I'm like, okay, you got a driveway. What? He says, the point I'm trying to show you is if I was in Milwaukee, it would take me a year just to open up the driveway because I would have to go through so much to get it. But look, I'm out here, and all I told him what I need, and I got.
yeah,
Because they're business friendly.
yeah,
Milwaukee is not really business friendly.
yes.
So we have to revisit those things to make it business friendly. So I have to ask you a question. Are you ready to be a salmon, to go upstream instead of just going downstream and doing things just to do it because everybody else is doing it?
Oh, look, I've been practicing holding my breath. I got this. I definitely am. I think it's time. I think
Yeah.
it's time. And that's one of the things that I said. Um, I don't care what anybody else is doing. I don't have any ties to anybody. I don't have to make uh, uh, a promise to someone to get ahead. I
Mm.
want to go hit the ground running and go. I want to make changes. I want to make an impact. And I'm hoping that the rest will follow. I'm hoping that the rest will see me out in the community and say, look at her. She's always out there. She's never in this office. I hope the rest of them will come up and say, hey, we need to level up.
Yes. And then let's talk about, because I love the way you said God told you to go back and get your family. And when you said that, you know what hit my spirit?
What?
Everybody in the city is family.
Yes.
Everybody. We're doing, well, we postponed it, but we're doing what's called a retour. Okay? And the retour says we're going to restore families, rebuild our community, reconnect with our neighbors, okay? Recommit to changing our city, and reestablish trust in our city.
Yes, yes, yes. We definitely have to do that.
And
We definitely.
so, with that being said, let's talk a little bit about education. And I know as an older person, you really can't do too much on education, but let's talk about education from a different standpoint. And I'll give you what I mean. Right now, MPS, 10% of the children can read at their grade level. 14% can do math at their grade level. All right? The block grant is giving so much money to so-called organizations that's supposed to be there for the children. Will you hold those organizations accountable?
Absolutely. Like I said, I got 12 grandkids growing up in the city. I want them to have some kind of intelligence to make good decisions. And I think that's horrible. With MPS, the poverty, one of the things that we have to learn is that a lot of these kids are latchy kids. They were kids that parents had to go to work. Parents left kids alone because they wanted to make a living and make an income. So those kids sat there and played games and did all other kind of things. But now we're to the point where we have got to take tutoring. We need to make learning fun for them. If they can learn a song, a dance, a TikTok, and all these other things because it's entertaining.
Yes.
We've got to figure out a way to draw those kids back and make learning fun. When I had a daycare, one of the things that I did with those kids every morning was I put colors on squares and we jumped. They knew majestic, lavender. I mean, all kind of colors because we jumped on them and we made it fun. And I remember one of my parents who took their daughter to the doctor, and the doctor was like, "Oh my gosh, she's so smart. Oh, where does she go?" And she said, "It's her daycare." you know. But I always made learning fun for them because I realized the how you can hold on to something that you enjoy.
Yes. And you're right. And the thing is, um, I sat in a block grant meeting with the people in the block grant, and they was giving money to people, and this man was there, and he said they asked him, "So how long you been getting the money?" And the man was just bold about it. Well, I was getting the money for a long time. I can't even remember how long I've been getting this money. And they was like, "But what are you doing? You have no evidence, none whatsoever, no evidence of doing any kind of work, no evidence that your program even worked, you know." And so when we start to look at things, we put a mirage up. We make people think that we're really doing something. And
Mhm.
I know I'm gonna make some folks mad when I say this. For example, when they do the Black Excellent Awards and they give these awards, they only give the awards out to people on one side of the aisle. They don't give them on the other side of the aisle. Okay. And I give you a prime example of what I'm talking about. My organization been out here for over 20 years. I help elected officials' families on the other side of the aisle. And when I say it, I'm talking about like Ashante, Alina Taylor, and the rest of them, right? All the person. They send their family members to me. They didn't like me, but they sent them to me, and I helped them because that's who I was. I
Mhm.
was transporting 450 people a day. I had companies come into my church and do interviews where they was getting $19.30 an hour. They was making good money before good money was even being made, right?
Right.
And 401k, they was going into companies and was coming part owners of the companies and so they could have made a career out of them, right? But you know what they did? They sent somebody to my office and said this: "We watching you. We know your work. You do great work. We want to give you money, but you won't shut up." It's time to remove the ring that is because there's a lot of organizations, there's a lot of churches doing great work. And if they can have some finance, they can even do more work. Okay. I watched uh for example, y'all ministry. I know y'all in two locations, but when y'all was on 35th and Silver Spring, y'all was doing some great works. One
Mhm.
of my spiritual sons, every year they do book drive. They're out there with the community. Uh, so my ministry, we even walk streets at midnight to 3 in the morning. So you got people that's doing work. But here's the thing: if you give them the money and they start solving the problem, that's going to cost somebody their paycheck.
Mhm.
So we don't want the paycheck. What kind of accountability would you bring to the fifth district?
I'm going to be there. You're going to see my face. You're going to talk to me. You're going to hear me. I'm going to hear you. We're going to work together. My accountability to the fifth district is us being together, us being one.
Mm.
You know, just tell me what you need. I can tell you if it's possible. If it's not possible, again, I'm going to tell you I can't do that. I wish I could, but I'll bring it up. I'll plant the seed, and that's what I want to do. I want to be able to plant seeds for the other people. For when we come together, then hopefully we can stir them up and make something happen. But I'm definitely going to be involved. I'm going to be an involved older person.
Yes. Now, watch this. Uh, I like what you said, Russ. I'm going to put it up in a second, but watch this. The homeowners in your district, the fifth district, on their taxes, right?
Hmm.
There's a fee for street lights. But the street lights is never on.
I'll tell you, David, when I worked at the water department and I saw that, they warned us that it was going to be on the next water bill. So we were going to get abundance of calls. And I thought the same thing, like, what does street and water have to do with each other?
Right.
You know, why is that on there? But yeah. But the way to get those street lights on is to call. You can call and put a complaint. They should have those lights on within 24 hours.
You know, what they should do is prorate it. Every day that they keep those lights off, they need to prorate that money back to the people.
Like any other business would do, right?
Like any other business. But I'm paying you for street lights that you don't even turn on.
Yeah.
In the most dangerous areas too.
Yeah. That's definitely has been a big concern. When I see street lights out, I don't care where I'm at, even if it's not in the 5th district, I'll make a note. And when I get to work, I'll call and say, I drove past this area. It was dark. You're expecting crime to happen when you turn the lights off.
Yeah, and see, I'm telling you, you ever watch the movie Lean on Me?
Mm-hmm.
With Crazy Joe? That's the type of mayor you're gonna get.
Okay.
Because I'm coming in there, Crazy Joe. You're gonna have to explain it, or you gotta go. Because it's no way. You look at it. They charge us a wheel tax, right? Because I know you're hearing all of this, so I'm gonna bring them back up to you. They charging us wheel tax, but they don't fix the potholes. Yeah. Putting that
asphalt or whatever that stuff.
Asphalt. I was trying to say pacifier. It don't work. Yeah. Why not just cut a brick out, put the cement there, and you ain't got to worry about it for a couple of years?
Yeah.
Why you put that out there and in 3 months it's gone? It's gone. And so when we look at this thing, wait a minute, hold on. So many people. Okay, here, I want to see this one first. Kids know to be home by 9 o'clock every night. Well, here's the thing. If they don't turn the street lights on, I ain't got to come home. Because we grew up, if that street light beat you, right? But if it never comes on, I'll be like, well, mama, the light never came on. So, but it's sad. I mean, we laughing and but the reality of it, right, is all the service that is supposed to be given, like snow removal, right? It shouldn't take you until the snow melts itself.
And I'll tell you, the snow on the south side gets cleaned up. It's the north side that we don't get. I mean, we're last.
Listen, let me tell you like this. I live on the south side. Street sweepers go through my yard, through my alley. And so, and I'm sitting here like, okay, we got a street sweeper coming through our alley. I grew up on the north side. I'd never seen a street sweeper in our alley. Again, north side, McDonald's service, south side, Chick-fil-A service.
Mm-hmm.
It's a total different service. You call the alderman over here. I called my alderman, gave him my address. They would say, oh, how can we help you? I said, I'm looking for a copy of the approved budget. Oh, let me show you where to get it. And if that don't work, I'll mail it to you. Now here on the north side, they be like, where you live? Okay, we'll see what we can do. No, I want the same service for the people on the north side as the south side.
Yes,
same
absolutely.
Service.
Yeah.
If I never have to worry about my garbage not being picked up. Never.
Wow.
So the service should be the same on all sides of the street, all sides of the city. And when we talk about the service, because this is where how should I say? This is where the injustice comes, right? Because both is paying taxes, both is paying wheel tax, both is paying street lights, and all the other stuff that's on those water bills. Like what else? I think a fee for the DA is on there too, right?
What? No, it wasn't when I left that department. That may be.
I got to check, but I believe it's either on the tax or on the water that they had a fee that goes to the DA's office.
Wow.
So these little tax and fees that they add on there, you know, and they say, okay, and this is the part I can't stand about politicians. Politicians will say, vote for me and I'll make sure they don't raise your tax, right? But guess what they do?
Raise the tax.
And they raise the tax and they call it a fee.
Mm-hmm.
It's still getting your money, still doing you wrong, still because you know why? Because they know that the people don't know.
Right.
Now watch everybody go look at their water bill or their taxes to see if there's a fee on there for the street lights.
Oh, definitely it is. I'm sure they felt it.
Oh, they felt it, but you know, they just look at the bill. They don't never really look at it and say, why is this here? Why is this here, right?
Yeah.
And look at the money that MPS getting. And the kids is failing.
Yeah.
And nobody's saying anything.
Right.
And check this one out. The children, all the reckless driving, all of that ain't the teenagers. Them folks are 30 and 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But they saying it's the children.
Mm.
But it's literally 30. I'm talking to police captains, I'm talking to fire department chiefs and everything, and they telling me this is what this is. I'm like, really? You kidding, right? Nope.
Wow.
So, you know, they hiding information. They won't give you everything that goes on. And when you look at a district, and we're looking at the 5th, and ooh, you got my favorite restaurant in your district, so I'm okay with that.
What's that?
El Greco. Everybody know. You want to find me? El Greco's. After church on Saturday, El Greco's. They be like, every time we turn around, yes. So you got my favorite restaurant in there. I'm always at El Greco's. Let's see. Yeah, it does has to change. And the thing about it is, this is a special election. So let me hit you from this point. Two parts. Okay? By it being a special election, that means you got to run again for
In a year.
Less than a year. So if you win, you taking off running, working, right? Not campaigning, but just working, right? For the people.
Absolutely. Like I said, they're gonna know me. I'm not gonna be that they don't who's my alderwoman. If you don't know your alderwoman, it ain't me.
Okay.
I won't be there.
Now, the second part of that is, if you miss the mark in the special election, will you run again in 2024?
Ooh, I'm gonna pray on that one.
No. The answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes. And I'm gonna tell you why the answer is yes. This is preseason. Okay? This is the preseason. You're learning a lot of different things on how to run, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if you miss the preseason, that's okay. The real fight is in 2024, because now you're not fighting for a couple of months to be in office. You're fighting for 4 years to be in office. And you can do more damage in 4 years than you can in a couple of months, because to be honest, you really have to get into campaign mode. So it's not like you can really go to battle like you want to because you still got to be in campaign mode.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you don't make it, oh, and somebody say, yes, she will.
Amen. I agree with that. I stand in agreement.
And here's the thing, it allows us to get a bigger base. It allows us to bring more people that are like-minded, that is like-minded because of the fact why we're talking. You can't see. Here's the problem that we have. You can't fix the house with just put one coat of paint on one wall. You got to paint the whole room. Okay, so one of the things that I'm looking for is real people that want to run in 2024. Let us all get behind one another and let us all storm the castle and take our city back. Because that's what we got to do. We cannot let them have it any longer. Because I was talking to some young people today, and I told him, he said, what about us? I said, I'm laying the foundation for y'all. And then I want to pass the baton to you guys.
Yes.
This ain't about me. This is about you because you're young. You're going to have children, and they need to have a better city.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think of my grandchildren. I have 8 grandboys and 4
Oh, my God.
granddaughters. And my grandchildren, I have 2 kids, but they each have 6 kids. Okay. And they are from 2 to 13. So the safety of this city is important, especially for my grandsons, because I know we had this big thing about Black Lives Matter and all lives matter, but Black lives were the ones that were in trouble and jeopardized. So I think that's why that came out. But I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the things that go on. I'm concerned about the way people of color are handled.
And,
Uh,
let me jump in real quick because I'm in agreement with you. And I think the most important thing right now is we educate people of color because people of color are not, a lot of them is not educated. So they're not being influenced, they're being manipulated. Okay.
absolutely.
And so we really have to, and like my sister say, we on the same page, speaking the same language. And I told you that gentleman was coming on, right?
Yes.
There he is. I live in the district.
Well, once David gives me your information, I'm gonna knock on your door personally. Okay. We're gonna fix that. I told you I'm a problem solver. We're gonna fix that. I'm gonna knock on your door personally.
Yes, that's it right there. Yes. And so, Sam, you got a question for her? Oh, I didn't say his name, but you got a question that you might want to ask her, because I'm going to, and I'm saying it on my show, I am going to push you.
Thank you.
I'm going to push you. I'm going to tell everybody, they saying, Sam, if you're not home, they're gonna leave a flyer. I'm going to connect everything that dealing with you. I'm gonna find the people that I know in your district, and we're going to push you. You're gonna be my agenda until my race. Then you on your own. No, I'm just joking. But
Now then we gonna help each other.
okay, but we're going to do that. So Sam do got a question. I'm gonna throw it up there. Can you see it? Pretty
Yes.
good. Okay.
Actually, I think that's a good idea, especially for the elderly. I think that those people. Do I need to read the question or? I'm sorry.
No, you can go ahead and just touch on it.
Oh yeah. I think that when you're on Social Security and you're on a fixed income, I think that there should be a cap. I mean, because I think we all probably have to pay property taxes, and I don't think to say to eliminate it would be proper.
Right.
Probably raise a whole lot of issues. But I think there should be a cap because we want you to stay in your home. and we want you to
Yes.
be happy in your home. So I definitely think that something should be done about that. I don't think you should be on a fixed income, and because you want to live nice, your property taxes is $2,000.
And,
You
and
know,
I'm so in a oh, girl, I'm telling you, we on the same page because one of my thing is especially like you said for the LD ones, it should be frozen, and the reason it should be frozen because their income don't go
right,
up,
right,
but when they pass, then that it goes back up. But as long as they live, they worked hard all their life to own their home. And
yes.
it's sad that the city take the home because of taxes, not they mortgage, but taxes. This
Three
to,
years of back taxes, the city owns it.
and so when we look at it, right, and you saying, wow, they worked all their life and to lose their house to the city.
When you elderly,
Yes,
when you need it the most.
yes. And now you got to move out of what you worked for all your life.
Yes.
You know, I think that's something that need to be visited, need to be done. I don't care how it got to get done, but I think it needs to get done. I believe that um, you know, we have to protect our elderlies. You know, one of the things that another thing that bothers me and is that you hear elected officials say, parents, get your kids, parents, get your kids. But the moment the parents get their kids, the parents go to jail because you got the parents' hands tied.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You untie parents' hands, and I guarantee you, you won't have to say, it's 10 o'clock. Parents, do you know where your children are?
David, my mama wasn't no joke. You hear me? She said to call 911 if you want to.
Ooh, I know, right?
My
Okay.
mother was not there's a difference between disciplining and abuse.
Yes.
So I'm definitely for disciplining because I don't want somebody else
To
to have to
discipline them.
discipline because they're not going to do it in love.
Ooh, child, you starting some stuff. Now, he got another one for you. I kind of like this question too. I want to see how you feel about it.
Okay. Am I gonna be one of them?
No, you won't be one. You
No.
won't be you won't
Um,
be one.
well, I think that Milwaukee is a large city. And sometimes when I look at the map, I'm surprised at the area. Like in running for the fifth district, it's a large area. And I think that we need those councilmen. I just think they need to be involved. If you are more involved with that community, then things you won't feel like, hey, maybe you should shrink it, because you'll see results happening. I think people think it should shrink because they don't see the results that they
Well,
want to see.
yeah, but not only that, the reason also it is being brought up because we've been functioning for a while with only 13. And then we went down to 10 because we had 5 that was not in place.
But you're not looking at the whole view because what happened like now in licensing, anybody who wanted to start a business in those districts had to wait because you
Ooh.
needed automatic approval. So there's more to it than just that.
Wait. Say that again.
Then you need automatic approval
To do what?
to start your business. Your
Okay,
alderman
so
has to say, okay, I'm
I
okay with this.
I love you. But watch this. You see how they play that game? You need an automatic approval. Why they didn't get an automatic approval before they signed the papers to put that detention center in a district that had no alderman? You see how they play? It- they sign something, but a business owner can't get his business going because of no automatic representation.
Mhm.
But you sign things that the ninth district don't know what's really going on because they're making decisions because they have no representation. Fifth district don't really know what's going on because fifth district don't have no representation. First district don't really know what's going on because they don't have no representation. But then they'll tell you as a business owner that is in those districts, you wait on representation. This is why all of them got to, well, not all of them, majority of them got to go. I know for a fact there is some that got good hearts, but then there's some that look like us that don't care about us, and they got to go. I mean, we just got to be real and honest and just say it like you can't say it. I can't. I say it for you. But they got to go because of the fact that our best interest is not at. If I'm a businessman, you telling me I gotta wait until I get an alderman, but then you can make a crucial decision. And then here's the sad part about that though. There's 80 children in detention, $400,000 a child, $32 million. And they only making bids, right? You ready for this? They only making bids for 32. You know why? Because the other 48 are money. They're not worrying about bringing those kids home. But they lied to everybody and said, oh, we worried about them so they can be closer to their family. 32, not all 80. Why you didn't bring all 80? Because that side of Wisconsin was not going to lose that much money.
Yeah, I agree with you.
See, that's those dirty things that they do to us. I think he got another one for you. Ooh, okay. Wait a minute. I'm finna put it up. This is a good one. You ready for this one?
I'm ready.
You full of the Holy Spirit. You should be. You be all right. I know you probably don't want to say it right now, but do you have any? Well, let's just ask you this. Do you have any in mind?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'm really going to connect you with Sam so y'all can talk. So you know, because yeah, I know you don't want to right now, but okay. But yes, so you are in favor of eliminating some of them.
Mm-hmm. I
Okay.
think so.
Okay. All right. Is that a good answer, Sam? Is that a good answer? Because I don't want to get in trouble. We want to cross the finish line, but you know, and when we look at it, right? I'm looking at all the stuff that's going on, and I'm sitting there like, why we don't know? And you know who sleep the most? Who ain't paying attention the most? The church.
Mm-hmm.
The church is not paying attention to what is happening. And then those that are involved are manipulating, they're not telling the truth. And so you have people say, I wanna come out of Egypt, but I love Pharaoh.
Hmm.
Bring me out, but I love Pharaoh. Why waste time bringing you out if you're gonna go right back to Pharaoh?
Right.
You know. So let me see. Let me see if there's anything else that I want to hit you with. I said about an hour, and we already over an hour. That's how it works when you come
That's
on.
all right.
It's when you come on Kingdom Citizen of Wisconsin. You know, we be on for a minute. So long as you okay, you
I'm
still
okay.
good?
I'm okay.
All right. So then we can keep going then. So let me ask you this. If you had a magic wand, what would the 5th district look like?
Man, the 5th district will look like back in the day, where you could see kids outside playing. The neighbors knew each other. We had grass. It was just peaceful because I believe that your home should be your safe haven. Once you get home, you want to relax, eat, just have fun, speak to your neighbors. I think we lost the connection of people people don't network anymore. As long as you think you're okay, it's microwavable. You know, as long as me and my family is good, that's all right. Well, you know what? That family 3 doors down, you're going to cross them. You're going to see them. So you need to make sure your whole neighborhood is good so that y'all all have a connection and y'all look out for each other. Fifth district would be looking out for each other. I would have the business, the gas stations need to invest in the community. Yes, come on, put up a program. Have a Saturday day playground in your parking lot. Something. Because these people come to serve you. You're getting their money. Give it back. You can write it off.
Right.
Let's do something. You know, and I would be the one advocating for that. I was like, hey, let's make a big community. You know, you want your store safe. If these people care about you and think you care about them, they're not gonna come rob you.
That's right. And I tell people all the time, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
That's right.
And so Sam says that he don't have nothing else really. He's going to see if you're going to make a community meeting. They got
Yes,
community
I will.
meeting.
Every community meeting that I've been invited to, I've been waiting. You know one? Let me know about it. I want to come. Come on, Sam.
Say, help a sister out, huh?
Help us sister out.
Yeah. And you know, and the thing about it is, I look at it this way. The difference between us, you and I, and politicians is sight.
Mhm.
It's what we see.
Mhm.
It's what makes us different than them. All right? I remember Miles Monroe telling us a story about the Bahamas had an island called Trash Island. That's where they put all the trash. It was called Trash Island. And a man came and brought Trash Island. And he cleaned it up
Mm.
and put a hotel on there. And people visit it every year now, called Paradise Island.
Mm.
Yes.
From trash to paradise, huh?
And it's how you and I, as we run for these offices, how we see Milwaukee is you know, is what we see. It's not what they say, it's what we see. And I see, just like you, I see Milwaukee, right? I see Milwaukee different. I see Milwaukee prospering. I see Milwaukee, and there's other people that see it. That's why they need it to die.
Mm.
See, they need it to die. And if it dies, to everybody, it's worthless. And now they can come in and get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's not dead yet.
No.
And if it's on life support,
We're going to resuscitate it.
There you go. We're not pulling the plug either.
Right.
Them dry bones is about to live and put some flesh on them bones.
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me see what Sam said. Last Wednesday of March, he said I would get more information when I get permission. He'll get more information for you.
Okay, I'm going to be looking forward to that.
From trash to paradise, yes. No, we're not going to let Milwaukee die.
No, we're not.
You know, we're going to revive Milwaukee. We're going to turn it around. We're going to run it the way it's supposed to be run. I ran $1 million companies, and my job was to fix things. And I can handle heat fixing things, so I don't have a problem fixing them. Mm-hmm. You have two choices. You can get on board, or you're going to get kicked off the train. That's all that is. Mm-hmm. And the thing about it is, you know, we have so many people that was forced off their job because they didn't want to take the carrot. Okay, I got to use code words because I don't want to get suspended or put in anybody's jail right now. So they lost their job because they didn't take the carrot. A lot of city workers, that's why they're short-handed, is because they did not take the carrot. But when I become mayor, if they want their job back, they're going to be able to get their job back. I'm going to see it. They won't get their seniority back, but they can have their job back. Because I don't believe nobody should be forced to do anything they don't want to do. This is America. And you have a right to be whatever you want. You know, and the Bible says, not the Bible, but life, liberty, and a pursuit of happiness, right? So your happiness might be different than my happiness. So I'm not going to stand in the way of your happiness, but I'm also not going to let you stand in the way of mine.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
if you want to be a drunk, go ahead. Just drink top shelf. Be the best. you know. But the thing about it is, we cannot allow people to be forced to do something they don't want to do,
Yeah.
because it's just wrong. And so for me, I'm going in for the people. I'm not going in for like you. And I love you said that earlier, that I didn't have to touch it at all. But it's not about owing anybody. The only people I owe is the people that elect me.
Yeah.
Okay. And not only that, the only people I owe is the people that are living in this city of Milwaukee. Okay. And I have to serve them as I'm serving God. It's because he said, whatever I do, do it as unto the Lord. So I have to walk upright. I got to walk in integrity. I got to be consistent in who I am. And anybody that know me, I've been consistent for a long time. And I always tell the people, I would never, ever sell your trust.
Yeah.
Never sell your trust.
Yes.
Okay. And so I'm big on that. I'm not going to sell you out, and then we got a lot of people that don't read books and they want to call you an Uncle Tom. Instead of them reading the book, they would never call you an Uncle Tom if you for the people, because Uncle Tom was for the people. If they're going to insult you, they would say Sambo. They wouldn't say Uncle Tom. So when we look at for what it really is, and we understand our goal is to be able to give our children a city that we had.
Yes.
Okay. I remember how Mama had to work second shift, but Betty next door made sure we was in the house. You didn't play those games. You didn't go home and say, the neighbor yelled at me, or the neighbor swung at me, or the neighbor, because if the neighbor whooped you, you got another one when you got home. Because that means you was doing something you ain't have no business. I want the trust to be back in the city, that we can work together and trust one another.
Yes.
And the thing about it for me is this: if we quit trying to compete and come together, we would be amazing.
Absolutely.
Now you know that phrase that they used to say, that black people are like crabs and they pull each other down. I had to break it down to a young man, and this is what I told him. I said, it's not what you think. I said, let me tell you what it is. You put one crab in the basket, and he spent his whole energy trying to get out that basket. Then he realized he can't get out. So then they put another crab in the basket. So the other crab getting ready to try to get out. So the one that been in there said, man, I tried that, don't do it. I tried it, don't do it. So he's steady pulling him back. And then he said, okay, go ahead, try it. And he tried it, couldn't get out. So when the third crab came in there, right? The third crab, they both telling him, you ain't gonna be able to do it. You ain't gonna be able to do it. We tried that. And they tried. And so they let him try. By the time the fifth crab came in, four crabs telling him no. But guess what? Not one crab said, but we can together. Every time you hear somebody in the black community, what they say? I tried that. I tried. But we didn't try together.
Yep.
So if we come together, not just the black community, but the city of Milwaukee, the people of the city of Milwaukee, if we stop allowing them to put a color on us, because when they put a color, they put a limitation.
Yes.
I was sitting with some guys, and the man said, I'm a black man. I said, I'm an American. He said, but you're a black man. I said, no, I'm an American. He said, you're a black man. I said, no. I'm a dark-skinned American. He said, what's the difference? When you use that word, you're a black man, you got limitations on you.
Yep.
When I use the word, I'm a dark-skinned American, there's no limitation, because I know how to use that Constitution to get what I want.
Yes.
So again, it's how we see things.
Yes.
And so the Bible teaches us to what? Write the vision. make it plain, that others may see it and run with it.
Yeah.
And so we gotta get you in. And if you don't get in April, you will get in next February. We're gonna get you in. Yours, see, you trying to, I gotta say this. You trying to say, okay, Lord, if I don't get in, at least I tried, God. I did what you wanted, I tried. No, you're going past the finish line to get this job done because people need realness. They need people that is real. They need people that has a heart. They need people that doesn't mind walking in integrity. They need people that care about them and not themselves. You know, and where you at right now, you don't have to do this. I don't have to run for mayor. I'm good at. I am one of, to me, and it might not be to you because you might say that about your pastor, but to me, I think I'm the best pastor in the city of Milwaukee.
Okay.
You know, to me, you know, and I'm not going to put myself under any other. Now, you might say, no, my pastor is. Okay, we'll argue that later. But to me, I think I'm the best. And I don't have to do this, right? I was offered different churches. I was offered to set up a church somewhere else. You know, I could lead a state like everybody else running. But no, this is our battle.
Yeah.
And I'm in this battle to the end.
Yes.
You hear what she say, right?
Yes, we will get her in.
So
she knows my heart.
Yes.
She knows my heart.
We had a long talk about you. And so, you know, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to get you in. We're going to keep your name before the people. You're going to come back on the show again. We're going to keep doing shows. We're going to, anybody can take the show and share it. Once we're done, I'm going to download it and I'm going to put it on Apple and Spotify and iHeartRadio and all the rest of them. So they can go there and say, you can tell somebody, go to Apple and look up Kingdom Citizens of Wisconsin. And yours going to be, I believe, episode 9, if I'm not mistaken. If it's different, I give you the episode. So they can go straight to the episode and they can listen again. But we're going to push you until you get in. And then when you get in, we're not stopping. We're going to push you some more. Yes. And so, because Milwaukee needs you.
Thank you.
Milwaukee.
I need Milwaukee too.
Yes.
We need to do this together.
It's a together thing, you know. And so, and I do want you to know that when you start fighting for Milwaukee, when you look back, you will not be alone. Yeah. You will have the backup. So, I mean, this is doable. I believe that we can make it happen for you in April. And so I'm gonna make a statement. This has nothing to do with, and let me put, how should I say, a disclosure in there. What I'm about to say has nothing to do with Miss Annette Jackson. This is all Dr. David King, what I'm about to say. Also, on April the 4th, everybody who love their concealed carry, who feel safe because they got their CCW, you need to vote in the Supreme Court race. And if you don't want your CCWs, then you vote for Janet, whatever her last name. But if you want to keep your CCWs, then you would vote Dan Kelly. So your rights, you can keep your rights. Because here's the thing about it, and people don't pay attention to this. We are law-abiding citizens. So we are the majority because we're the law-abiding citizens, right? Majority of those people are not going to obey the law, and they're going to carry a gun whether they got a CCW or not, right? I need to have the right to protect myself so I can go home at night. And so we need to make sure that our rights are not being questioned or taken from us because if they take them, you're not getting them back. So if you don't understand the Constitution, you need to look it up. Stop letting these commercials put a smoke screen out there. And I give you a prime example. They said Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, and it was a whole smoke screen during a political office about Black Lives Matter, right? And then after the election, when they started making laws, not one for Black lives. But they use Black Lives smoke screen. So what is the smoke screen they're using now? Abortion. Why? Because they want you to focus on abortion while they steal everything else. So you guys got to make sure you guys pay attention to what's at stake. Look it up. Look at your rights. When you say, I agree with the right to carry. All of us do, because we all want to go home, and the problem that we have is they lie to us and they send distractions. For example, they told us to take the carrot. It's the best thing for you. But they thought we forgot about the 40 years they injected syphilis. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So they acting like we forgot that.
Right.
Or since 1950 and 1960, how they were sterilizing Black women and poor white women. Right? They act like we forgot that too. So when you start looking at it, be like, hold on, this is distraction for what you're really trying to do. You really ain't for us. You need to get in so you can start attacking things. Same thing with school choice. If you like the schools your kids go to, that's taking part of the choice program. If you're not careful and you vote the wrong way, you lose that. You lose that because why? They want to force everybody back to public education so they can dumb down the education system. So you have to look at everything that's on there, and you got to look at your rights. And all you got to do is listen to both to see who's going to protect the Constitution and who's not. So what I'm going to do is give you your final 5-10 minutes, however you want it, to talk to the people and tell them again why they should support you and vote for you in April.
Okay. I believe that you should support and vote for me in April because again, I really see greatness in this city and I really want the opportunity to help uh, the community see the greatness that I see. I have a vision, and it's not just my vision. I want to share my vision with the community, and we can have a big vision together. I'm really for the people. That my heart is to really help everyone grow, to level us up, to be there for you, to address your concerns, your needs, anything that I could possibly do. I will be totally honest. You'll be able to contact me. I will be available. I am working for you. It's not me. It's not my job. It's a position that you put me in. So I want to be there to address your issues and your concern. I really love our city. I think that we can do it one block at a time. I think District 5 could be the first. And I hope that all the other people in authority will see what we're doing and want to model it just so that we can all care. I mean, we're one. We're one. When something goes wrong in this city, it affects all of us. So there's no one person that can do it unless you're just being totally, totally selfish. But this is our city. The north side comes to the south side drives to the north side. We need to be concerned about what goes on in this city because we live here. So my passion is to really be there. I can't express how I think about these things at night of the things that I want to do for District 5. I think about what I would want to hear or what would make me feel good or what I could do for somebody else. Part of the things is love thy neighbor as though you love yourself. So I want to I want to treat my neighbors. I want to find out what grants that we have available. I want to do a resource book for District 5 so that everybody knows what's going on in that district. We know what business is in this district. We know so we can support that business and help the community grow. I'm just, I just can't explain how I'm overwhelmed with really wanting to make change. And here again, I'm not a political person. I've learned so much. I think I can help. I can hit the ground running on day one. I'll make changes from day one. I'll talk to you. You'll be available. I'll be available to you. I mean, I don't know what else I can possibly say is that I'll represent that district with integrity, and I will be accessible to you. And I think together, we can change things. It's not about all the person in net. It's about District 5, the residents and the businesses that are in that district. So I would just love for you to give me that opportunity.
Well, too bad I'm not in the fifth. I'll be like, I got you. But no, I got you though. I got you. And we'll talk you up. We got you. I'm excited. I'm glad you came on
I am
um,
too.
for the first half. You're welcome to stay on if you want. I'm going to be throwing some boulders right now, but if you want to stay, you're welcome to stay. But if
I
you got
do
to
want to stay.
Okay, then you're welcome to stay. So now we're gonna flip it. Now she's just a guest. Now she's not a candidate. So I want to talk about some stuff that took place, and I have an issue with some people, and that when I'm making about when I bring certain stuff up, you want to talk about it. You can jump in at any given time. I just I just love you want to stay. So I'm going to address some stuff. And I want to uh, those that know me, I'm always about educating and empowering the people and exposing things that happens or goes on. And so we have a person that is part of uh, how should I say this? One of the parties. Okay, I do it like that because I'm a man in the middle. But this gentleman said there is no middle. There cannot be a middle. You have to choose a side. And I'm like, no, you don't have to choose a side. You don't have to play the game. You don't have to go along with any one, whether Democrat or Republican agenda, because God has agenda too. And
Absolutely.
and God's agenda always overrides man's agenda. Just like God's law, natural law overrides man's law. And so he was saying that one of the reasons that the Republicans doesn't do too much in the city of Milwaukee when it comes to local races is because Republicans cannot win a seat in Milwaukee. But the sad part about that statement is this person holds a position in the Republican Party. So you are a person in a position that says we can't win. There's no way we'll be able to win local, so we got to win statewide. So I got a question. If I was your, I'll ask you, Annette, if I was your basketball coach and we getting ready to have a game, and I come in the locker room and I says, it's no way we're going to be able to win. It's no way we're going to be able to defeat these people. It's no way we're going to be able to take the lead to score a basket. It's no way. Now let's go out there and try to make it to state. Are we going to state?
Absolutely not.
If we're not going
Because
to
you've
go.
already spoke that. You spoke defeat over us. How do you expect us to go there and do this if you've already spoke defeat?
Exactly. And this person is also a minister, and also, and I'm sitting there like they play these games with us, and this is why I have a problem. You have the first vice chair, the first chair of the Republican Party, right? Supporting a Democrat liberal for mayor in the last election. And then he said, oh, well, it was me as a person, not me as a vice chair. I'm like, how do you split that? That's just like you and that catch me coming out of a hotel with a woman that ain't my wife and we all hugged up. And I say, Annette, that's not Pastor King hugged up. That's David. You can't
Yeah, you
separate the
can't
two.
separate it. Nope.
And so you see them playing these games, talking about the Democrats this and the Republicans this, but yet they in the same. This is why we get screwed all the time. This is why it's nothing getting better for us, because the games that are being played. Now, this person who said this also said, "Oh, I voted for Lena Taylor." Wait a minute, you are on the Republican side. You hold a position, but you voted for them. You voted for other liberal candidates, and you're supposed to be on this side, but you're telling me there's no middle. So there's no middle. You just cross over and vote for whoever.
You go from point A to point B. That's it.
Right.
Just
Now they telling you that you need to be a part of our party, but you're voting and doing things that is contrary to what your side is supposed to stand for. This is why, and this is one of the reasons why I love the middle, because God says, "Do not sway to the left nor the right."
yes.
Right? We have to stand in the middle. And even though, the Republicans use the word rhino, Republican by name only, right? And so I made a statement that I was the biggest rhino because I didn't sound like a regular Republican. I didn't sound, when I ran for office, I had to run on the ticket, but I didn't sound like a Republican. I didn't sound, because the way they was talking wasn't the way I was talking, because they was telling me we're the party of God. Okay, if you're the party of God, then why did you let them shut down the church?
Mm-hmm.
If you pro-life and you guys was in charge, why was y'all giving money to Planned Parenthood?
Mm-hmm.
If we're gonna do something, then we're supposed to do exactly what we say we're going to do. And we have to be consistent in what we do. And this is why people don't have any hope anymore, because they listen to people and they tell them what they're going to do, and they tell them they're not going to do.
And that trust is broken.
Right. So I'm sitting here looking at the Republicans and I'm telling them what's wrong, right? Then I goes over to the Democrat side. Now, Milwaukee is technically controlled by Democrats. You got a Democrat mayor, Democrat county executive, a Democrat congresswoman, 2 Democrat state senators, the Democrat state representatives, Democrat county supervisors, Democrat alderperson, but a black person still got to leave Milwaukee to prosper. Why? Why is that? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It does. And so if our eyes are not open by now to say, if we don't get up and roll up our sleeves and do it ourselves, it ain't gonna get done.
That's right.
It's not gonna get done. All we're gonna do is keep listening to the lies. They pointing fingers back and forth at each other. They're saying things, but at the same time, we are casualty of war. Our community is a casualty of war. Our children is a casualty of war. Broken homes is because of casualty of war. The crime, casualty of war. Why? Because they're at war with one another, because all they want is power. They don't want solutions. They want power. And because they just want power, what do we end up doing? We end up going through things because we didn't have to. We didn't have to go through it. They choose to. Look how much attention they put on 53206.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the condition of 53206.
Mm-hmm.
Where the money that was they so concerned about it ain't got better. It didn't get better at all. So what are we bragging on? Right? You look at them, they took a lot of people homes from the inner city, from 2nd and Brown, 1st and Brown, Reservoir, moved all them people to the Meadows, North Ridge Lake, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? They forgot about them. They forgot about them. Everybody said, well, Northridge closed. You know why Northridge closed? Because Northridge was a mall that was not designed for people that get food stamps. Northridge Mall was designed for people that live with 6 figures, because you know who lived in Northridge Lake, right? NBA players, business owners, they all lived in North Ridge Lake. All of that area was good. You would have paid $150,000 for a townhouse in the Meadows. Now you can pay $15,000.
Wow.
So when you look at it, so the mall wasn't for them. They shut down. Now look what you got over there, Dollar General. Come on, you look what they. It's all designed, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's saying anything. It's all designed. It's designed for us to realize exactly what they're doing to us. For example, let's take a look at Juneteenth Day. I'm gonna see if you paid attention to this. Juneteenth Day was added more blocks last year. Did you notice that? Did you go down there?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so it went from Center to Concordia, right? And everybody was excited about, oh, we got more blocks. But you know what they did? They remember every year. They remember every year that the chaos and the damage that happened during that time. So what did they ended up doing? What they ended up doing was when it was time to leave, they had the horses at Center Street and they pushed you all the way back in Concordia. So that what they were saying is, if you want, I think so too. If you want to tear up something, tear up where you live. So they started blocking and sending us back the other way. And so when you start to look at what they're doing to you and say, you know what, we got to fix this. We have to open up our eyes. We need to call a community meeting. We have to call a community meeting. You know why? They didn't mind you tearing up 3rd and Concordia if there was going to be something tore up. They didn't mind you tearing up 5th and Concordia because that's the direction they pushed the people. They didn't bring the horses on Concordia and push the crowd towards Center Street. They took the horses from Center Street and pushed the crowd back into Concordia over by Victor Burger. I know y'all call it Dr. Martin Luther King, but I still call it Victor Burger. They pushed the crowd that way. And that's what they're doing to us. And so when we start to look at things, and you got these people and they're trying to tell you, hey, you can't win locally if you're conservative or if Republicans. We already know we can't win local races, so we just focus on statewide races. And everything start local. Every single thing start local. This is why they love spring elections, because they know a lot of people do not pay attention to spring elections. They know a lot of people is not going to go to the poll on spring election. So they banking on your ignorance of how important spring election is and want you to stay focused on statewide races. But your local races is where the change really comes. Your local races, your school board races, your automatic district, your county supervisors races, your county executive race, your mayor's race, those are the races that are important because you got to start locally. Everything deal with local races first. That is why it's so important that we deal with local races. If we are not focused on local races, then we're going to always get messed over. We're going to always get mistreated. We're going to always get treated badly because of the fact that we never change the local seats. And long as those people stay in those seats and nothing else going to change. Einstein said it this way: if you continue to do the same thing thinking you're going to get a different result, that is insanity. So when you look at this thing, we have to get involved. That is why it's so important that we get out and get Annette elected. That's why it's so important that we tell everybody we can find that lives in the 5th district, you got to go out and you have to vote for Annette Jackson. We need her in office. We don't want you to slip up. We don't want you to not go vote. If I got to pick you up and take you, you ought to tell them, I will pick you up. I will remind you, and I will take you out to vote because we need her in that seat. Without Annette in that seat, you don't know what you're going to get in the 5th district. So we have to get behind Annette. We have to make sure that Annette is elected, and we have to make sure that we hold Annette accountable once we get her in office to do exactly what she says she's going to do. This is the only way we get change in Milwaukee. You're not going to get change in Milwaukee when you continue to put the same people in office. It's not going to happen. It's just like a woman that got a man and he cheated on her and she caught him cheating. He said, baby, don't do it. I'm not going to do it again. And he do it again. And then she take him back again. Baby, I'm not going to do it again. And he do it again. And then she take him back again. He'd be like, baby, I'm not going to do it again. And he do it again. That's what elected officials are telling you. They telling you, I'm going to be there for you, and they're not there, and then you take them back again. They say, I'm going to be there for you, and they're not there, and then you take them back again. And then they say, I'm going to be there for you, and they're not there, and you take them back again. When are we going to wake up and do it the way Martin Luther King talked about? Martin Luther King says, don't judge a person by the color of their skin, by the content of their character. And so, Shanita, just let her know if she plug in and come back on, I got her. She could come right back in. But at the same time, what happens is this, you guys. You have to make sure that we are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and that we want our city back. We want our neighborhoods back. We want our community back. We want our children to be safe. We want our elderly to be safe. We want business owners to thrive. We want them to be able to open up their business with all and that they're not hindered anymore from opening up their business, that they don't have to leave the city to open up their businesses. There's a lot of things that we can do together. Just like Annette said, together. I always said it, meet us in the middle and have a mind to work. When you can meet us in the middle and have a mind to work, then we got that one mind, one purpose, one goal is to make Milwaukee a safe and prosperous home for us all. It takes all of us. No, she's not there yet. I can't see her face. Tell her she's not connected yet. But as soon as she connects, I'll bring her back on. So these are the things that we have to look at. These are the things that we have to get back together. We got to come. It takes each and every one of us. Each and every one of us. Each and every one. I can't do it by myself as your next mayor. Annette cannot do it by herself as your next auto person. It takes all of us to come to the table. What are you willing to do to make Milwaukee better? Besides pack up and go to Arizona, go to Houston, go to Vegas, go to Atlanta. What about staying here and making it right? What about that? What about staying here and making it right? What about staying here and getting it together? What about staying here and investing that when we leave, our children and grandchildren have a better place to live? So it takes all of us. Welcome back. Welcome back.
I'm sorry. My computer died.
That's okay. That's quite all right. I was like, just tell her to plug in and come back in. And, so I was telling them we have to stand up. And this is a charge to everybody. People with morals. You got people that got morals that don't serve God. We need you. People that serve God, we need you. Atheists that have morals, we need you. Muslims, we need you. No matter what religion you are, it takes all of us to come together. Once we make the city the way we want it and we got peace, then we can have the little minor debates on who's right or who's wrong or all of that. Right now, all that petty stuff, Milwaukee got to do like 9/11 because we got a crisis on our hand. What do I mean by that? In 9/11, we wasn't black or white or Latino or Asian or Polish or Italian. We was American. We wasn't Democrats or Republican. We was Americans. We was not rich or poor. We was American. We united. Milwaukee, we got to do that same thing. It ain't about being black, white, Latino. We got to be Milwaukeeans. It's not about being rich or poor. We got to be Milwaukeeans. It's not about being a Democrat or a Republican. We got to be Milwaukeeans. We got to come together as Milwaukeeans and make Milwaukee better. Ain't nobody else going to do it for us. They will gain on our pain, but they're not going to do it for us. We have to get up and do it. You got something to say? Look like you got something to say. Come on.
No, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. We definitely have to do better. We have to start trusting. I know division was in our genetics from day one.
Yes.
But now we can make a choice.
Yes.
And we are aware of what happened and where we've been. And now we have to look to where we want to go. So we definitely have to come together and stop harping on the past. We can't change that.
Yes.
It happened, it's done. We have to learn from it and move forward. And we are stronger. We are so powerful just through history.
Yes.
You know, we're very powerful people. So we can make anything we put our mind to, we can make happen. And I want us to do that. I want us to come together.
Oh, yes. And Einstein says the same system that caused the problem cannot be the same system that solves the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have to come together and look at this thing, because the power is in us. All of us, we have that. We have the ability to flip Milwaukee. It's not about making history or having the first black this or first black that, because we didn't get nothing when we got the first black anything. So it's not about that. It's about grabbing the right people to get the job done.
Yes.
The people that don't have nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose.
Me neither.
I have nothing to lose. So I mean, it's where, how should I put it? It's where when I leave and pass that baton, I'm gonna make sure it's not in the condition that it is now.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree.
It's not going to be in this condition. It's going to be better, because as you notice, and you and I know, and most of the people that watching, listening also know, that every generation was supposed to do better.
Mm-hmm.
We got worse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had family members that been spit on, beaten, hung, all kind of stuff. Had to go outside to the bathroom, and they wanted us better. They couldn't read, they wanted us to read. They couldn't do math, they wanted us to do math, right? So then I live in condition where you lived in a house and it was 6 boys and y'all had about 4 mattresses or 2 mattresses, and y'all slept on those mattresses. But then when you got up, you got it better for your children. Now what we do, we done turned it down. We're going downhill, and we're going worse than we is. And you know why they don't want our children to read? And when I say our children, I'm not just talking about black children. I'm talking about all of our children. The reason they don't want them to read and do math good is because when a slave escaped, that couldn't read or write, they had to come back because they didn't know how to survive. If our children don't know how to read or write or do math, they got to stay on the government's assistance because they don't know how to survive.
Yes.
And we gotta open up the gate so they can get off the government plantation.
Yes.
And they can have better, because they're very smart, very talented. They might not have the book smarts. They got the same ability that our great grandfather them had. They couldn't read. They knew business though.
Mm-hmm.
They knew how to count that money. They knew how to weigh stuff. They might not was able to read, but they knew that money. They knew business.
And we wasn't meant. God didn't make us for poverty.
That's
So
right.
we're in existence where we don't know how to behave. That's why all this crazy things are going on, because that's not how we were built. We was not made for poverty. We were made to succeed and live abundantly.
Yes.
To have stuff overflowing. So now the mentality is that because we have that, we're built like that, and it's in our spirits, is that if we can't have it, we want to take it.
Yes.
because we need to feel that superior. We have that spirit inside of us and that feeling inside of us that makes us want to feel a certain way because we were not designed for poverty.
That's right. And here's the thing. I tell people this all the time. If you give your children to Caesar to be taught, don't get mad when they come home a Roman. Because Caesar's going to indoctrinate them to what he wants them to be. So we have to do something different, that we empower our children. My son, every day when I take him to school, we have that prayer time. And he listened to my prayer. Lord, let him be that leader you called him to be. Let him understand all the teaching that's going forth today. When he play his game, Lord, let him play to his best ability. Let him know, give him that confidence of who he is in you. Every single day as we go to school.
Yes.
And so we got to go back to those things, praying over our children. You know, we have to allow, we got to figure out a way to allow the people of God to get back in the school system to have after school programs for those kids.
Yes, yes.
We got to figure out a way that churches, instead of having your building open 2 days a week, open it up all 5 days a week or 6 days a week, so they have a place to go when their mama is going to work, that they can get a good meal and get their homework done. We have to take our rightful place again.
Yes.
We have to be the pillar of the community. We have to be the one to help those families out. It is designed for them to stay for single moms. It is designed. Let me do it this way. A friend of mine had back problem. She can't stand. She can't sit long. She can't stand long. She can't lay long because she got back problem. Totally tore her back is messed up, right? And check this out. She went to go get some help from the plantation. And the plantation said, leave your husband and we can help you. Well, I like this. I got to find out who said that one. I got to look it up. Oh, that's Rustin talking that one. Okay, Rustin. Rustin, you cheating. You working on, you playing me now, Rustin, because you on 2 different platforms. I was wondering, like, who is that? Okay, I got you. But you're absolutely right, though. It is time for us to look out for the children, our next generation, because we got a generation that don't know no Democrat or Republican. And that's the generation we need to feed and educate and empower, right? Because Frederick Douglass says it's easier to build a strong child up than it is a broken man. And so if we spending that time invested in our young people, not talking about them, not degrading them, but investing in them and says, okay, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? We already got connections that can help them.
Yeah.
I spent 2.5 hours with a young man. No, 3.5 hours today with a young man. And he wanted to pick my brain. What do you think about this? And what do you think about this? I'm sorry if I'm wasting your time. I'm like, no, this is what I'm designed for. You're not wasting my time. Then I talked to another young man. He wanted to know. And I'm letting you know. He was like, well, what are you going to do for us? I said, no, that's the wrong question. I said, what do you want? Let me see your vision. What do you want? And when he started to share his vision, I said, oh, we can do that. Because all he want to do is have a better place. So when he start having kids, they got a better place. That's what most of them say. And then a lot of them say they don't want kids. And the reason they don't want kids is because they don't want to bring them in what's here right now.
Yes, yes.
And this is why we have to do things that's going to make people believe again and have hope again. And I want people to have hope in Milwaukee. I don't want them to leave because they feel they can't make it here because all the rules and regulations that goes on here that hinders you from making it here.
Yeah.
And so, those are the things uh, we'll say. So let me ask you this question, since we got a couple more minutes. What would you say to a single mom? Because they always telling single mom is your life over, da 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 da. What would you say to a single mom? Give some words of encouragement to single moms right now.
I would tell single moms, never stop dreaming. You ain't never too old. If you think it, you can conceive it and achieve it. There's so many things that you can do. Nobody can dictate your life but you. Make it motivation to do things. I was a single mom at one time, and to me, the most important thing were my kids. So I always put myself aside and made sure I did what I had to do for my children. And I wanted my children to have the best. I didn't want them to just have things. I wanted them to have the best things. I wanted them to enjoy life. I got them passports. I would work
Mm,
overtime to do things, the things that I didn't have, the things that I felt like I didn't get, which I had a good childhood, but there are things that because times change, I wanted my kids to have more than what I had because I think each generation should have a little bit more. I mean, that's what we live for, to better ourselves each generation. But single moms, don't give up. I mean, we built for that. I mean, a woman is strong. We can handle it. I mean, it gets frustrating sometimes. Take one thing at a time. Sometimes I just have to pray. I said, Lord, what should I do first? I'm overwhelmed. And he said, well, you're not going to do anything if you try to do a little bit of this, a little bit. Do one thing at a time. Complete that, do the next. Don't stress yourself out. Keep living. We'll wake up another day. Nothing's going to change. And if you hurt yourself, you're not going to be any good to anybody. Take self-care. Make sure that you're okay. Make sure that you're not going to be perfect. Nobody is perfect, but you are loved and your kids need you. That's the biggest thing. I always realized I didn't feel like anyone would love my kids more than I did. So I was like, man, if something happened to me, nobody's going to love them like I do. So I got to keep going. So
yeah.
don't give up. Don't give up. So and I'm going to share this with you, and everybody knows me. I don't never tell my age because I feel like once you tell your age, people expect you to act a certain way. I do whatever my body say. I think that I'll jump off a cliff. I'll try to. I dance for the Bucks. I'm a Milwaukee Bucks grand dancer. At my age, and my grandchildren are so amazed. Like, Nana, you do everything. Nana, you can, because I want you to know that you can. Nobody,
Yes.
don't let nobody tear your dreams up. If
Yes.
it's in your heart, it's in your heart. You make it happen because nobody's gonna see your vision better than you can. So I don't want y'all to give up. Don't give up. Don't fall back to what people tell you. When people say bad things for you, you shake it off. Keep going and say, look, I know what God told me. That's one thing I always told myself. I know what God told me.
Yes. And one of the things you say, you sound so much like me because I be saying some of the same thing, but I put it this way: can't nobody stop you from your destiny but you. You're the
Mhm.
only one. And I tell people this, you know, when people ask me every day, "How you doing?" I say, "I'm great." And one lady said, "Why do you always say you great?" I said, "Because I am great. My circumstances, what I'm dealing with, doesn't define who I am.
Absolutely.
I'm great." And I don't say it arrogantly. I say it confidence. I am confidence. I am great. And so with me, once I look at that, and I can deal with anything because I'm great. I can deal with anything come my way. And so when I talk to young people, I be like, "Who told you? Where you get that from?" you know and like the gentleman today, he kept saying, "Well, I didn't go to college." I said, "Let me ask you a question. You see that car right there?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "How fast did that car go?" He said, "About 160." I said, "But what do the system allow that car to go? How fast do that system allow that car to go?" And he'll say, "In the city, 25, 30, 35." I said, "So it never drives its full potential, right?" He said,
Mhm.
"Right." I said, "Okay, so just because you didn't go to college does not mean you can't go your full potential. You,
Absolutely.
you can go full speed." And so, so when we look at that and encourage them, because they're looking at us, they're looking for somebody that they can attach themselves to say, can I make it? They're looking for that word of encouragement.
Yes.
Can I make it? They're also looking at us to fuss at them and say, are you crazy? What's wrong with you? Get your butt up and go do what you know you need to do. They love that correction. So, so we have to come to a place where we sit back and say, you know what? It's all about y'all. It's not about me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's about y'all. It's about y'all future. Who is y'all? Everybody in the city of Milwaukee.
Yes.
And for you, everybody in the 5th district, it's about y'all. It's about y'all. It's not about her. It's about y'all.
Absolutely.
And so I'm so, we gotta not let people play games with us. We gotta stop looking at the lies. We gotta go in a little deeper. Every time they say something, go in a little deeper. Go do your homework. Look at don't even listen to the commercials, because commercials is paid to lie and to deceive you. And I always tell people this: character never need an image consultant. If you're walking in character, you don't need an image consultant. You don't need nobody to make you an image, because you already has an image.
Yes.
So you don't have to worry about that. Only thing you have to worry about is not selling yourself or compromising, and then you got to look in the mirror. Because when I look in that mirror, I want to see consistency. People say, David crazy. I'm going to be consistent crazy. That's why I say, once I win my election, 2024, I am going to be the mayor of Milwaukee. I'm going in like Joe Clark from Lean On Me. And we're going to clean up the infrastructure of the city, that the service in the city is done right for everybody. We're going to become business friendly. We're going to remove some of the crap that's hindering business from growing and hindering new business from starting. We're going to make sure that the money gets in the right hand and not in the good old boy's hand. We're going to clean up some stuff. We're going to clean up some stuff, because enough is enough.
Yeah.
We see it going on and on and over and over again. No.
Coming for the kingdom.
Yes. As kingdom citizens, we coming. And we're coming in authority. We're not just coming. We're coming in authority. And we're going to make sure that every single person are being taken care of. We got to say it. You're right, Shanina. Enough is enough. And we got to do it. We got to start now. We got to get ANNETTE in, and we got to let that snowball all the way to 2024 so we can clean house. We need to. You cannot build a new house on an old foundation when there's cracks in the foundation. It will not work. So we have to level it out. We got to smooth it out. We got to cover up the cracks, and we got to start over. We got to do it. I told the young man, it's nothing wrong with the system. What the problem is, who controlling the system. It's nothing wrong with the system. It's who's controlling the system. And I told him, our city is the reflection of our leadership. That's what it is. You cannot say the leadership is not the cause of the way our city look. Right? And so we have to change. I remember asking one of the school board candidates who used to be on the school board, and I said, did the school board fail our children? And he's gonna say, no, the system did. No, the school board did, because your job is to make sure they got a better education. Your job is to make sure the teachers got what they're supposed to have. It was your job. You don't want to look over the curriculum. You don't want to look at the budget. You don't want. So if it's not being done, your fault. And we don't need people like that. We need people that's going to admit, repent, and ready to get it right.
And be accountable.
Because if you ever, how should I say this? A mother, a lioness, see her cub in trouble, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna tear that cub, tear whoever it is up for that cub, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, a father can weigh 99 pounds wet, and a man could be 280 pounds solid. Mess with that child, and guess what happened? That 99 pounds gonna whoop him. He gonna find a way to whoop him, right? He gonna find a way. Kim,
Mm-hmm.
thank you. I need that. I need that vote, but I also need your support, Kim. I want to do lunch with you, share my vision, so you can tell all your people, because we're taking over Milwaukee, point blank. That's just the bottom line. And watch this. I said to the young man today, when an elephant see a lion, it's terrified. But when a lion sees an elephant, he see lunch.
Whoa.
Now the elephant is bigger, stronger, but when he see a lion, he's scared. But when the lion see him, he sees lunch. And many of us for a long time, let me tell you what we was. We was an elephant. And let me tell you what I mean by that. If you take a baby elephant and chain it to a tree that he can't pull away from, right? Then he stopped trying, right?
Mm-hmm.
You take that same elephant when he's a full-grown elephant and chain him to that same tree, mentally he think he can't pull that tree. So he don't even try.
Wow.
It is the mindset that we allowed them to give us in the city of Milwaukee is why we are in the condition that we're in. It is enough of us to vote every last one of them out. But what do we say? We can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
They in charge. They got the power. They this and they. No, it's you. They just trained you to think that you ain't got no power.
Absolutely.
And if that elephant finally get mad and take one good step, that tree is uprooted. And we have to uproot every elected official on a local level in city of Milwaukee that is not for the people. They need to be uprooted. Just like the scripture says, every plant that my father didn't plant will be uprooted.
Mm-hmm.
And these folks need to be uprooted. And so, wow, it's been 2 hours already. 2 hours and 13 minutes. So this is how we close the show. Now, when we close the show and we go off stage, I still want you to stay backstage for a minute, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, but this is how we close. We do final thoughts. But we're not Jerry Springer, but we do final thoughts. So I'm going to give you 2 to 3 minutes final thoughts. Ready?
Yes. Hi, my final thoughts is this has been amazing. This has been an amazing experience for me. Even this run, the automatic run, has been an amazing experience for me. As I was saying to a question earlier about single mothers and dreaming, I was raised to believe that I could do anything, and I've always been a giver. And I really want to help the community. I really want to be involved. I really want to love on everybody in the district. I want to spread love. I want to spread knowledge. I want to spread togetherness. And I guess my final thought is that I have enjoyed each and every one of you. If anyone is interested in helping me on my campaign, please notify me. Uh, Again, iron sharpens iron. Together we are stronger. I am looking forward to working with you, talking with you personally. And I definitely believe that I am the best person to be Alderwoman for District 5. So I really want your support. Thank you so much for tuning in, giving me the opportunity to speak to you. I really appreciate it and have a wonderful evening.
Yes. Now I gotta touch this one, okay? Now I gotta say something, and I gotta be transparent on a lot of things too. So I I get in trouble when people hit me with certain things. I get in trouble, okay? And since we're gonna close, I might as well close with trouble, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do have a lot of organizations out there that's doing good, but they one-sided, and that's my problem. Okay, I never see them really push agenda and of where they're really going to be in the center, especially like Micah, who's supposed to be a faith-based group of people. You put when you push one agenda, when you push one side or the other, whether if you're just pushing all Republican or all Democrats agenda, then you're not helping the community. Helping the community is we're pushing the people agenda. That's what we got to push. If we got organizations out there, we got organizations out there that can't get a dime because they're not on that side of the fence, but they're doing great work. You got people that's dealing with domestic violence, but they can't get a dime. You got people that's dealing with uh, sex trafficking, they can't get a dime. Why? Because they're not on that side of the fence. So, but that's okay, because we're gonna fix all of that. Ain't that right, Alderwoman Net?
Absolutely.
We're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix it where people gonna do. Because let me explain this again. 20 years. God Squad been on the scene. 20 years doing its work. 20 years helping people get jobs. That's how the Joseph Project was birthed, because they saw what we was doing, and the guy by the name of Orlando Orange was working for Maxima, and we went in Maxima and hired all of his clients so they can have a job. So we did all of that. But did they give us any acknowledgement? Did they say anything? No, because why? You ain't on our side. You're not on the same side of the fence. There's a lot of organizations doing and churches that's doing great work, but that because they decide to stand for God, ain't nobody paying them no attention. Ain't nobody helping. Look at the ones that's feeding people, clothing people, dealing with the men with drugs, alcohol. I mean, I ran a transitional home for men that was getting off drugs, transitional home for single moms. So the work was done in the city, but you got to be on a certain side. I'm not dealing with one-sided. We're breaking that up. It's either all or none, period. I told you I'm going in as Crazy Joe. It's all or none. No more. Look how many food trucks that we got out here. Is every food truck going to have a seat at the table when the Republican convention coming? Or is there just going to be a faithful few that's going to get there so their business can prosper? We got to make sure everybody is at the table. It is all or none. All or none. If you're not going to be there for everybody, I'm sorry, we're going to break that scale. We're going to make sure that everybody can eat. Everybody can have a business if they want a business. Everybody that want to prosper can prosper. Anybody that don't, that's your choice. Again, we in America. You don't have to. Right. But we do have to make sure everybody have an opportunity to. So, so one or the other, I don't care about. You got to be right there to make sure everybody. We got to look out for everybody, right? Mm-hmm. And if we don't look out for everybody, then we're no better than them.
Yes.
And if God reigns on the just as well as the unjust, and we are no better than God. We got to reign on the just as well as the unjust too. Because when we go into office, we're not going into office being a mayor of only the righteous folks. We're the mayor for everybody. You're the alderwoman for everybody in 5th. You are responsible for the whole 5th district. Not just, well, they like me, they didn't vote for me. No, you're there for everybody. And this is what we got to, this is why Milwaukee is so divided. Come out. You see the organization come out. Oh. Okay, we ain't gonna go there because I'm trying to close. Y'all trying to keep me on here. I'm trying to close. But the thing about it is, this is why we are in the condition that we in. Look how many people fighting for the same block grant instead of coming together, working together, get the block grant, and they can help more people. You know, and guess who get the block grant? The one who kissed the ring, the one who always get the block grant, and somebody else. We don't even help each other research. We don't even help each other set up 501c3 rights the right way. You know, we don't help because we are intimidated. But if we understand who we are, can't nobody be another David. Ain't nobody. I'm one of a kind. Annette is one of a kind. Can't nobody be there is no another Annette. So you can try to imitate me. You can create, even my organization, God Squad, people done things to look like God Squad. And the thing about it, I laughed because I said, that ain't nothing but an Ishmael. Because God didn't give it to them. He gave it to me. So I'm not even jealous that they done something. The Joseph Project was a very good project. It helped people get jobs. But if Ron Johnson's name was not on the Joseph Project, they wouldn't have got the publicity they had. Mm-hmm. So you have to look at the thing for what it really, really is. And, you know, I mean, they wanted to do good work. I commend the late Pastor Smith. He did a great job with that organization. You know, God Squad was doors was open. I was taking people to Waukesha, to Beaver Dam, to Oconomowoc, to Allen, to everywhere. We traveled everywhere, taking people to work. But the thing about it wasn't for my sake. It was for them to be able to feed their family, have a good paycheck, to take care of their loved ones. And this is what it's all about. We want to open doors that people can take care of their family. You don't have to work at McDonald's, but you want to work at McDonald's.
Right.
We're going to make sure you got jobs that you can, if you want a good job, it's there. You just got to want it. And if you don't want one, then you got. Mm-hmm. Well, we already know. I do want to say this. We do need to research all organizations. We need to see their motive. We need to see what they stand for. We need to see who's leading them. Because if a person is leading them and they're claiming to be of God, but they're doing ungodly things, then we can't even really work with that organization. So you have to understand everything comes by knowing them by the fruit they bear. That's just it. And if you're consistent in walking in integrity, then they're going to find integrity fruit on your tree. That's all it is. We are kingdom people. Our job is to be influencers, not manipulators. So I'm not going to manipulate you to support me. I hope I share my vision and you want to support the vision. But I'm not going to manipulate you. I'm not going to lie to get your support. I'm not going to water myself down to get your support. I'm not going to do none of those things. I'm just going to do what I got to do what I'm called to do. So at the end of my journey, he says to me, well done.
Yes.
That good and faithful servant. That's the bottom line. So, but we thank you guys. I know this has been fun, and some of y'all will probably want us to stay longer. I see Chris Lawrence is somewhere on here. Chris, it's good to see you. I don't know if you're still watching. If you are, say yes, because I would love for you to meet Annette, Chris. Chris, is you still here? Because I would love for you to meet Chris. I don't know if Tracy is on here. Tracy, if you're on here, I would love for you to meet Annette. Tracy he has a podcast called The Dark Horse, and he's my mentor in podcasting. So I want to connect you with the people that I know y'all hearts has a kindred spirit, and that they will help you get across the finish line.
Okay, awesome. And
so we thank everybody. Thank you, Shanina. We love you. We love you. We love you. Thank you for making this happen with Annette, because I've been trying to reach her. She just wouldn't call, but you got
I was going to call, but that's why I have Shanina. I tell you, she's a warrior. She's so loyal. I appreciate her so much.
Yes, she is. And when she believes in you, she believes and she goes. So we thank everybody for being with us tonight. And so we just want to say God bless everybody. And we're going to talk to y'all soon. Again, don't leave the studio yet.
Okay.
And Annette, just give us a minute to close it out, okay?
Okay.
So everybody, again, April 4th is very important. We got to get Annette elected. We got to get Dan Kelly elected. I'll let you know my other picks in the other races. I'm going to try to see who has like-minded. We can bring them on. We can drill them and see if they worth it. I'm open to let any candidate come on and we can have a conversation. But I do want y'all to know my pick for the 5th district is Annette Jackson. I am not going to change my mind on that one. She is my pick. I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to talk to people to who said woman? I got that list. Rustin, okay. But we're going to make sure that anybody and everybody, because it's about the people. It has nothing to do with us as an individual. So people of Milwaukee, those of you across the state, thank you for those that tuned in from YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and then we'll be downloading it and putting it on Apple, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon, Audible, and the rest of the platforms soon as we are done. So we thank each and every one of you for being with us. And until next time, God bless.
Kingdom citizen, yeah, yeah, kingdom citizen. Oh, what's